I'm Rolando.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Eddie Z.
And this is Remakes, Reboots, and Revivals.
An original podcast
about unoriginality.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. We are celebrating Valentine's Day, and we thought we would bring you guys a special video exclusive. Nicole, this week we were talking about romantic movies, right? What's our concept?
Yes, we are. Yes, we're going to be talking about some of our favorite remade, revived, rebooted romance films.
Okay.
Some that we prefer the original to, and some that we are looking forward to seeing an update on, because some of them need updates. But before we get into it, guys, happy Valentine's Day and cheers.
Happy Valentine's Day. Cheers.
I chose to do a martini because it's Valentine's Day and it's hard on everybody. We're February. We're like almost a month into. No, yeah, we're almost a month into the new Trump administration.
We
rough,
need a
guys.
drink.
Yeah.
This is the lumberjack edition.
Oh yeah, I love our fashion choices. Right? We said dress red for Valentine's Day. So
Yes,
what do
we
we all
did.
do? We wear flannel.
Yes, you guys have embraced your inner lesbian very well, and I appreciate it, guys.
You know, there's a section of the gay community that loves flannel too. They're known as bears, which Eddie and I are active members of this community too. FYI, so.
Aren't you guys cubs, or is that like
I don't know.
associated with hair or size?
I think it's age.
It's age.
Yeah, I think cubs are younger.
Also, I think attitude.
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 Maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, here we are, a bunch of Latinx queer people talking about romance movies on Valentine's Day. Guys, we should start this off with talking about maybe what we consider to be one of the more romantic films of all time. Now, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot by saying this, but when you think of romantic films, you know, what really like fits the bill for you?
For some reason, I think of Titanic.
Yeah? Why?
I don't know. I love it. It's like the perfect date movie in which it's like a beautiful love story, but it's also like a great action film at the second half of it, right? And it's just like, what a blend.
Okay.
Like that's what I think that's what should be a good movie where both genders in a heterosexual relationship can enjoy it, or one where two people who have two, because some people, you know how some people like romance movies or like dramas, they may not necessarily like action movies. I think this, and then the other partner might. So I think there's like a good blend for audiences with two different tastes. I think that's a sign of a good movie.
That's a good one. Okay, and I like that. I like that reasoning. What about you, Eddie?
Okay, so unfortunately for our community, we have a history of our romantic movies always ending up in tragedy.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Right? So always had to kind of depend on heterosexual romantic movies to be kind of like where I get my hopes. And so I'm more of a rom-com kind of guy. I like the falling in love, but there's always a series of misunderstandings, you know, and always this kind of like feeling like, yeah, this like it's not gonna happen until he shows up at the airport or to stop the wedding or something like that ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah. Is there any movie that fits that bill for you perfectly? Or?
Well, the only movie that I always think about is also one of my holiday movies too, is While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock.
Is that a holiday movie?
Well, it takes place during Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, it's
I
all about
confess so
winter.
much on these videos.
Yeah.
How much I just don't watch. I've never seen it.
Yeah, so While You Were Sleeping with
Okay.
Sandra Bullock
Nice.
is one of my favorites.
That's a good one. So it's so funny because I totally am with you in the sense of what our community needs for movies. But in my personal taste, I am a sucker for like those forbidden love stories and like a love that, you know, like has to fight to exist, and people that don't always like necessarily end up together, but are like made for each other. Like Carol. That came out 10 years ago. Love that movie. Two people who didn't even know if
10 years ago already?
10 years ago.
That's crazy.
Just like kind of having to like give hints and little suggestions to see if this person that you're wild about is in love with you because you were a woman in 1950s oppressive America. And you had to give it all up just to be with your child. Ugh, so tragic. Ugh, so dramatic. So romantic, right? My favorite straight people movie is a 50s is a 50s movie called All That Heaven Allows, which is exactly the same premise, except the only reason that this woman can't be with the man is because of class. Is because she's much older and she's been widowed, and so now it's her lot in life to just tend to her children. Love isn't in the cards for her, but she meets a young gardener played by Rock Hudson, and they fall in love. And he reignites passion and life within her, and everyone around her is judging her. And
yeah, they're like, why are you
like,
with this homosexual man?
they're like, and her children literally make her feel guilty about falling in love.
Wow.
And it like tears them apart, and it tears her life apart. And then she realizes that nobody even really cares about her happiness. They just want her to be in her place.
Would you?
It's a remarkable movie for the 50s, by the way. So
Did your mom never? Did she ever date anyone after your father?
She did. She did.
She did.
Yeah. Did
were
your
you
mom?
were you cool with it?
At first it was hard for me because I was still a teenager,
Uh-huh.
but afterwards I welcomed them and I became friends with them, and
Yeah. No, my mom didn't. She actually insisted on wearing black for a whole. She wanted me to wear black for a whole year. She has like very strict like Hispanic beliefs, I guess, and just like a
wow.
proving thing. She wanted us to wear black for a whole year, and I was just like, that's not happening, Mom. And I don't think she's, as far as I know, she has not seen anyone or dated anyone. But I have tried to like kind of persuaded her to be like, Mom, it's okay for you to find a partner. That way you can stop relying on me. That would be nice. Like, you know what I mean?
So selfishly,
No, but also because I feel like everyone should have some sort of companionship. Right?
absolutely, and that's fantastic. You know, not everyone feels that way about their parents. Sometimes people get awkward about it, and I don't know why we wouldn't want the people in our life to be happy. So it's a great movie. It's also an hour and a half. It's got beautiful, lush Technicolor. Check out All That Heaven Allows. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about some remade, rebooted, revived romance films. Some that we prefer, right?
Yes.
So our first category is going to be the remake that was better than the original. Does anyone want to volunteer to go first, or shall I kick it off?
I'm going to go off first, right?
Okay.
Because,
Oh, you're gonna go first. Okay.
yeah, I'm going to go with A Star is Born. I think,
Which one?
the 2020,
2018?
2018, is that when it came out?
Okay.
Jesus, time flies. Yeah, the 2018 one with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, I think way better than its predecessors, the 1950s one and the 1980s one.
1976.
Oh, it was 76?
Yeah, it
Okay,
was the 70s.
Whatever decade it was with Barbara Streisand?
Barbara Streisand, yes.
Barbara Streisand.
Well, the fact that you had a question mark
I
behind
had
that.
to no, because like you guys
Oh
called
my
me out
God.
so hard
Oh my
when I
God.
accidentally confused Barbara Streisand
And who?
with Bette Midler.
Oh my god.
You
Yes.
cannot tell me that they don't look alike.
No,
They look nothing alike.
alike.
They're so different.
Pull up. I want the
they're
editor to pull up a
incredibly-
photo right now. You tell me. You tell me right now in the comments that these two women do not look alike.
They do not look alike, guys. You don't even have to tell him.
Whatever. Call me crazy in the comments. No, but yeah, and I'm not counting. I guess the only one that I think might be better is the original one, but that's such an old movie that I just don't think most people will want to watch it. It just feels so dated. And the 2018 version with Lady Gaga just had a great sound mix. It had a great soundtrack, just great performances. We got to see Lady Gaga shine and kind of become an actress that hasn't necessarily found the right film since. Although I would argue that Harley Quinn was her next big role, but no one agrees with me, right? As she didn't get her Oscar nominations. I'm pretty sure. So like, but yeah, it was just something about this love story. I think it's about a damaged man and just how self-destructive he was, and how just she had this undying love for him. And it just didn't work out. And it was a sad movie, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful love story, right? And I think I tend to be of the mindset that like sometimes good love stories can be tragic. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with having a tragic love story.
I absolutely agree. I'm actually one that probably prefers a tragic love story at the end of the day. So, what about you, Eddie?
No, I'm a little more hopeful than you guys. You Got Mail
Oh,
with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
that's right. Which is like a remake-ish of Last Shop on the Left.
Yes,
Not-
not the left, right? The last
That's
shop on the
Last House on the Left, first of all, the horror movie. Shop Around the Corner. is
Shop
the one
around
you're
the
thinking
corner.
of.
Yes.
Whoops.
No, I've always enjoyed You Got Mail. I'm a big fan of Meg Ryan too and Tom Hanks. So, no, I love their chemistry together. Like Sleepless in Seattle, they have great chemistry together, and they have that kind of like, chemistry where it's just like we're not only like romantic partners, but we're also like best friends too. They have that kind of energy with each other.
Yeah, I agree. That's
kind
like
of
nice energy.
kind of appreciate that about them.
The only problem with both those films is like the ending, right? Like the guy always leads her to believe she's going crazy. Basically.
Yeah, he plays games with her.
Yeah,
for
the mind. But I mean, I feel like it is worse than in the last
41?
shop in the corner. What's the
Shop
name
around
of
the
it?
corner.
Shop around the corner.
Yeah,
I feel like that one was like vicious. Almost. Me and Eddie were just like aghast when we saw
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It was like gaslighting.
Like, he's just like, what a horrible man this guy was.
I recently rewatched this film and it's not as bad upon rewatch. Like, yes, he's having his fun with her and he's taking it a little too long. I wouldn't say he's gaslighting her. I'd say that's going a bit too far. And I will say that for me, Shop Around the Corner and You've Got Mail, they're neck and neck. They both have their problems, but they're both great for their own reasons. Something that's unique about You've Got Mail that I agree with you is it's very comfy.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
it's a very comfortable,
Yes.
like sweater weather movie. So I of course prefer my old movies though, which is not going to surprise anyone when it comes to my pick, which also might be controversial because this is one we covered on the podcast and we feel very passionately, whether it's good or bad, but we feel strongly about these films. I'm going to pick An Affair to Remember. Now that had three versions.
Come on.
Had three versions, right? The 1939
So
one,
controversy.
which is good. It's very good with Irene Dunne and Charles Boyer. Then it was done in the 50s with Cary Grant and Deborah Kerr. And then it was done in the 90s. I'm not picking the 90s one. I'm picking
that 90s
the
one
Cary
was
Grant
horrible.
and Deborah Kerr one. Minus the child musical numbers. And Affair to Remember is so fucking perfect for me. It has everything I want. I'm a huge fan of melodrama, particularly in the oppressive age of the 50s. And it's just, the premise of that movie is so melodramatic. Like the fact that she literally cannot walk anymore on the freaking day that she's supposed to meet this man at the top of the Empire State Building. It's what movies are made out of. It's the reason we go to the movies, to see these out of these world kind of premises. You know this is something that nowadays you see on soap operas.
It did give us also the best prank from the Impractical Jokers because they use that gag a lot, right? Going to the top of the Empire State Building.
Yeah, meeting with someone and wanting to propose to them.
Usually they go into that, into that route.
It's become a cliche at this point, and that movie kind of set up that idea for us. But it works. And it's just, if you kind of let yourself be swept away with it and you don't question it, you don't roll your eyes at it, you know, you're not better than this movie, you're one with the movie. It's a tearjerker. It is so emotional. And I don't know, again, everything that I find romantic, tragedy, I guess, I think people beaten the odds. The fact that, you know, the last line of the movie is, if you can paint, I could walk, anything can happen, our love can triumph. I'm a fan of it, man.
I gotta go back to the episode that we covered this because I feel like I gave a great pitch for how we can make this like a gay movie. I don't remember anymore what it was, but this was my 2025 year goal to like write more. So fingers crossed it happens.
Do the queer update of An Affair to Remember, Rolando. Go back and listen to it.
I think it had a lot to do with like murder.
We're taking all those master classes on writing.
I know. That's why I'm like, one of the Duffer brothers said, it's just like, go back to your old stuff. I'm just like, shit, I should have written it down. But I recorded this, so I guess
There you go.
Good enough.
There you go. There we go. All right, guys. So now we're going to go into the opposite direction. What movie is the original, the better film? It's been remade, but skip the remake, guys. Go watch the original. Anybody got one?
I got one.
All right, what is it?
Beauty and the Beast. The live action just
Oh, the Disney one. Got it. Okay.
Oh, you think I'm gonna call
I thought you were talking about the Jacques Cocteau 1946 French film.
No, that one is nice, but like, I mean, we're talking, if we're going to compare like actual remake, right? We're talking Beauty and the Beast compared to this one. The one with Emma
Watson.
I was saying Thompson. That was wrong. Yes, Emma Watson. Just come on, doesn't it hold like a lick? Is that a saying?
Yeah, that's a saying.
Okay, it just doesn't compare to the original one. The original one had this beautiful animation. It had just great voice acting, beautiful song numbers. Not for nothing, but like Emma Watson just could not sing, and they should have just dubbed her voice. So just a lot of misses. And I think the other big miss was, if Disney is going to get in trouble for having a homosexual act on screen, at least give me the homosexual act. Don't give me like two men dancing for like a frame. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Commit to the bit, Disney. Commit.
Yeah.
Eddie, what about you?
I would say West Side Story.
You think the original one is? Oh, I
The
mean,
original West Side Story, yes.
yeah, fine. I understand.
Yes.
And all right, so tell me why. Like, cause
Tell me
you know me, I love the Steven Spielberg one, but if I had to pick which one is the better one, I will probably pick the original one. But that's not to say I want to respect. I do love the new West Side Story. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot stress this enough. Like, it's just like me picking the remake over the original one. Or the original over the remake does not mean that the remake was lesser, because the remake was so good. I want to point that out.
Yes.
So why did you pick it?
I don't know. I think it was the first, really. And it was the first where I got to see some of the cast were Latinos. Some were
Like,
Latinos.
I think two.
But
I think Cheetah and Rita Moreno.
but kind of get the feel of like, like New York, that time period.
An expressionist version of New York, right?
Very much,
like that.
I very much like connected with that and the stories my mother told me of her coming here, living in Manhattan, and just how the community was back then.
What's so interesting about that is that I do think that Natalie Wood and Richard Baymer, the original Antonio Maria, they have pretty good chemistry.
Yes.
I think a little bit better than Rachel Zegler and what's his name?
Angle.
Ansel Elgort or something like that.
Yeah,
Can't remember. I'm sorry. They did not get along, Natalie Wood and Richard Baymer. Apparently, she was not that kind to him, and they just had lack of chemistry off screen. Doesn't show. Does not show in the movie.
I would have known.
Acting, right? I mean, truly an art form in that. Yeah, I see why you pick it. I mean, I always say that I think the two of them together would make perfect movies. There's things about the original and there's things about the remake that are perfect if you meld them together. And I think one of them is the love story. I think it's stronger in the original.
I think we can do that with AI. I think we can.
Yeah, I think
now,
that's a great
in the
idea.
Future, like just tell AI, be like, make these.
I thought
mix
you
these
wanted
together.
to write more, and here you are saying,
Well,
let's tell AI to do this.
I'm watching masterclasses on how to AI better. So,
So both.
so both.
Okay. You guys know this movie with Adam Sandler called Just Go With It?
No, I don't like Adam Sandler. So
Okay, so he made a movie with Jennifer Aniston where he
Yeah.
Oh wait, that wasn't Just Go With It. Wasn't that like
No, it's-
Polly?
he made a few. Then that Along Came Polly's with Ben Stiller.
Whoops.
He made a few with Jennifer Aniston, but this was one of their first together where she works for him. He asks her to pretend to be his wife because his new girlfriend will only be with him if she's cheating on him. Some outrageous plot like that.
There's women like that.
There
There's also
there
men.
are
there,
women
there
and
are
there's
also
men.
gay
Yeah.
men like that. Yeah, I don't want to just put the women on, but
So
media will let us to believe that it's mostly women.
this premise is actually a remake of a 1969 movie called Cactus Flower that had Walter Matthau, right, in the role of Adam Sandler,
Walter Matthau.
Ingrid Bergman in the role of Jennifer Aniston,
Interesting. Okay.
and the young girlfriend was the feature film debut of Goldie Hawn,
oh,
who won the Oscar that year for Best Supporting Actress
for that movie.
for that movie.
Interesting. Wait, who's Walter Matthau? That sounds
Walter
familiar.
Matthau is Grumpy Old Men,
Oh, okay. Got it. Yes.
okay, Odd Couple kind of guy.
Yes.
Dennis the Menace. Mm-hmm. You remember? Yeah. So Walter Matthau. It's the most 60s freaking movie ever because there's like a 10-minute sequence where they're at like a club and they're Ingrid Bergman too is like dancing. Who, if you know Ingrid Bergman from Casablanca, like her dancing to 60s music is quite
How old
the
was
feat.
Ingrid Bergman in this?
She was much older. Yeah, and the fact that at the end of the movie, Walter Matthau ends up with Ingrid Bergman and not a young, spry Goldie Hawn is astonishing. It was based on a play by Abe Burrows. It's just witty dialogue. Again, it's such a product of its time. It's so 60s, and it works. If you think that Adam Sandler movie is charming and it's funny and you think that whole premise is ridiculous and fun, I encourage you to check out Cactus Flower.
Do many people think this of Adam Sandler movies?
He's got a huge fan
He
base.
really does.
Yeah.
Because when he got that payout from Netflix, I was wondering, it's like, why? But he does. I am not an Adam Sandler fan.
Yeah. We're going to have to
respect-
cover him this year.
Shut the. Why?
Happy Gilmore 2.
Yes.
That's so sad.
So sad. All right, guys, really quick, let's pick one last one. What romance film do you want to see with a new revival or a remake?
I'm gonna go because I have mine ready.
Let's hear it.
His Girl Friday. I love His
a
Girl Friday
great
so much,
pick.
but I really do think that one can get revived because we are a much faster paced society nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an easier one to kind of do. You don't even have to rewrite it that much because I feel like the writing is still that good.
It is that good.
Like it is that good that like all we just need to do is just update the performances.
Absolutely. And I'm actually going to say we should make it queer.
You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, make it lesbians. I think that would be the perfect lesbian movie to be
That
quite
would actually
honest.
be really good. Yeah. No, it would. Yeah. The premise of His Girl Friday too is that they're both newspaper men.
Yeah, so we
Or
kinda
His Girl
changed that.
Friday was
I
the
would say
woman.
make them like TikTokers who do like news media.
TikTok.
Ooh.
Like that's how
Yeah.
we're updating things.
And they're like totally obsessed with the news world. But one of them is like, I'm going to leave and get married and have a normal life. And the other one's
guess
like,
not.
yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. And then there's like this whole story that bursts out and then they slowly get sucked back into their old ways.
It's gotten remade.
It's gotten remade a ton of times.
A ton of times. I've only seen one remake of it, which is like hard pass, like the original one. Could be any day of the week.
And I wonder if the original His Girl Friday's not the original. His Girl Friday's a remake.
Oh, shut up. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I think I learned that in school.
Yeah.
What was the original?
The original is a play called The Front Page. And The Front Page was made into a film in the 30s. Front Page was made into a movie with Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon in the 70s. And then they made it into like a new modern news movie with Burt Reynolds and Kathleen Turner in the 80s. It's been done a few times. But you're
Okay.
talking about the Cary Grant
Yes,
and Rosalind
that's
Russell
one,
one.
yeah.
That's one of the best ones.
It's so
for
good.
sure.
It's lovely.
I think that's a fantastic pick.
Thank you.
Eddie?
Overboard.
Oh, wait a minute. I
that
thought
got
they did
remade.
that.
They did, but
You're
I
just
want
like-
it done again.
And better.
And let's eliminate the whole problematic thing of like tricking someone.
Okay. You want to remove all the problematic shit.
Yeah,
Makes sense. I think that's
and
fair.
make it queer. Let's throw queerness in it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, agree.
Let's make it queer.
Lesbians are gay.
Huh? No, let's do gays because we did lesbians.
Okay.
So this one's gay. And yeah, let them both be people of color.
Okay,
Ooh.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Does that mean
I
that?
like it.
Do you want them to be like? And this is fucked up. That this is the first when you say people of color. I'm thinking off a bow. Do you want them to be like one of them to be one of the employees on like a yacht or something, who like saves the person who fell overboard, who might have been maybe a affluent like Latino or something?
Could be, yeah.
Okay, I just gave you the concept. Hollywood, go act.
My movie is from the 30s, and
It would be like
It
surprise,
would
surprise.
be, yeah. Because most of my favorite romance movies, I don't want them to do an update to. So, but one is one where I'm like, this premise could use an update, and let's make it queer. So my movie is a 1932 movie called One Way Passage, where two people meet on a cruise. And it's New Year's, right? They like embark on New Year's Eve. One of them is pretty much a convict who is being escorted from the country that he was found in back to his home country, America. And the other one's a terminally ill woman.
Wait, he's being sent back to America? Mm-hmm. Wow, now
Now-
America nowadays, but get the fuck out of our country. So, like,
Yeah. Well, we would have to find circumstances. Maybe it would be somewhat of a period piece too. Terminally ill woman. They both want to hide their pasts. They meet and they fall in love on the ship, but they both know that they have limited time. You know, so it's this very dramatic thing where they're trying to make the most out of the time that they have together. And the ending's on New Year's Eve, and it's just like, I think it's such a beautiful, romantic, sad ending. I just love premises like that. Again, I'm one for dramatics and I'm one for heightened melodrama here. And that would make such a good queer movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like we can make it more like contemporary reasons as to why they want to hide where they're coming from. And it's just two people meeting, two ships in the night and falling in love. I would love to see an update of that.
okay, that
And-
sounds like a good one.
Yeah. So,
I like it. I dig it.
you know, do you want to close it up?
Do any of our ideas entice you? Maybe you have your own. Let us know in the comments. And be sure to like and subscribe to our podcast and our show.
And we could cheers.
Oh, I already drank my drink.
Oh, okay. Well,
Pretty
cheers,
quickly.
Eddie. Until next time, guys.
Stay
Stay
unoriginal.
original.